this feels too real. This feels too real. It feels too close to home. It feels too close to a decision that I might be presented with. Like,
yeah.
Please welcome to the mic, Casey Balsham. It's Broadway Bitch.
Hello, and welcome back to It's Broadway Bitch. I'm your host, Casey Balsham. On the producer, Mike Albanese. Hello, and today in the studio, very, very excited. This guest, what can we are the Tigers. It was, not the Hard Rock, not the Hard Rock. No, you were in the Hard Rock Roll, but it was the workshop, right?
Yes.
And it was beautiful noise.
Yes.
I get my crooners, my guys mixed up. And we are the Tigers, as well as many things. I said we are the Tigers.
Yes.
Okay. Can always take this over because I already fucked up.
Sure.
Thank you so much. I said it. This is what happens when I'm tired.
You're cooking.
when I'm on my
babies.
drugs. Okay. Here it is. Okay, ready? Hello, and welcome back to We Are the Tigers. This is definitely the first take I'm doing of this intro.
Not We Are the Tigers.
Michael,
I love that you're such a fan of it, though, because it's one of my favorite projects I've ever done.
I didn't wanna
so it's good.
I wanted to let you go innately as a comic, but I also was like, I know you would rather me stop you.
Michael, what is happening to me today? Fuck me. Okay, here we go. Ready? This is the one, and it's going to be perfect. Here we go. Hello, welcome back to It's Broadway Bitch. That is the name of this podcast. I am your host and your best friend in the world, Casey Balsham. On the producer, Mike, of course, Michael Albanese. Woo. And in the studio, a fantastic guest. So excited that she's here. Currently in Cabaret, was in We Are the Tigers, that I am apparently very obsessed with. Can't stop talking about it. And fuck, I forgot the name of it. We have Beautiful Noise. This is a great intro, you guys. I really nailed it. We have MiMi Scardulla, okay? We've got MiMi Scardulla.
You know, I am completely chaotic, so it's perfect that my intro is chaotic.
I keep wanting to say something else, and it's a beautiful noise, and I keep wanting to say Heart of Rock and Roll because you did.
But I was in it. I was in it for a very, very long time.
Yes. But I just was like, and I have the notes now, but anyway, you're here, a current member of the Kit Kat Club.
Yes.
So I want to see can you describe the Kit Kat Club in 3 words for us?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
That's a word.
Is a word.
Is actually really good.
Ooh,
Also a word.
in sounds.
Whoa.
Well, I like.
Whoa.
It's kind of perfect.
That's actually perfect.
Yeah, that's the only way I can really do it.
Okay, wait. So you're in Cabaret, but I was shocked when I saw that you were Texas. But
Yes.
You're also the understudy for Fräulein Schneider.
I am.
Which are 2 completely different roles, and I'm just kind of wondering, what did you audition with that they were like, you know what, this bitch is doing both?
Well, I think it's like I went in and
Yeah.
I did my Texas stuff, and then originally I got called in to understudy Fräulein Cost.
Okay.
And I went in and I had my Cost audition. It went well. And then I came out and they were like, okay, they want you to come back in on Saturday and they want you to come in for Fräulein Schneider. And like, you know, it's the classic. It's the Shin Shin covers Madame Morrible, and usually, you know, bigger people cover older roles because your size kind of.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a very typical thing that bigger people have typically covered older roles because I guess the size like reads. I don't know. I don't
That's
get
wild.
it.
I don't get it
It is very
either.
wild. But I was kind of like, oh man. But then like as I started to do the material, it was like a really cool challenge for me. Like
Especially because it's very different.
yeah, like if you know me, you know I can be sexy and funny. Like those are 2 things of my personality. But like as I worked on it and I had to do for the audition, I had to do 1 scene and then I had to do What Would You Do, which is like her big 11 o'clock number of the show, right? And I just remember working on it and
kind of feeling
it was really fun. Yeah, it was really fun to like really have this piece where it's like it's majority questions, and like it's not just like asking like these macro questions. Like you're literally looking at Cliff and Rebecca Frex, who is like genius is like, no, I want you to look at the audience and I want you to ask them, like, help me. And like, it was just such a cool moment. And I remember in my audition, I was saying the song, and like right at the end, I was like so tapped in that I went like, what would you, if you, she like holds out this note, and a one single tear like fell from my,
you hit him with a single drop
from my cheek. And I was like, am I an actor? I was like, am I doing this? And so it's really special. And I've shockingly gotten to go on a couple times.
That's what I was going to ask you. Have you got to go on?
Every blue moon when the werewolves are out, I go on as Floorline Schneider. Like, it's very rare, but I've gotten to go on, and it's really fun. It's fun to be this, like, you know, my Fraulein Schneider, because I am younger, is very much my life has been really hard, but I'm going to choose to be positive throughout it, and I'm going to keep going, and that's what's gotten me through. So I think sometimes like it's a really cool journey to go on of like, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to be positive. Good things happen to me. I'm going to keep going. And then in the end being like, I don't want to make this decision, but I actually have no other decision that like I can compute to make. Yeah. So it's been really special to like play with that. And honestly, in this current political climate, like I'm really interested to go on because I think we are in a time and we'll move further into a time of like where there will be a lot of Fraulein Schneiders, a lot of people who have made decisions to get them in a certain place and have the fork in the road, and they actually don't think they can go down the other lane. And so it's going to be really interesting to go on in this time now, you know?
Yeah, how is that being in Cabaret right now? And we've seen, you know, there's been clips of like Adam Lambert saying things and stuff like that. I mean, it's crazy how old this show is and how close to our reality in 2025 that it is. Do you feel that from the audiences, or like do you you guys as a cast kind of like, this is nuts?
It's crazy. It's like legitimately crazy. Yeah. And there are days where I do the show and it feels like, and I mean every day it's an act of activism, right? It's like an act of rebellion. But there are days where I really feel so strongly in that, and then there are other days where I'm like, I don't want to do this show, like, and not in like I'm tired. Not it's not that. It's like this feels too real. Like this feels too real. It feels too close to home. It feels too close to a decision that I might be presented with. Like it feels scary sometimes. Yeah. And I think audience-wise, I think it's an interesting thing that our show does. It's like it does entrance you. It puts you in a spell of like, this is so happy. This is so beautiful. It's so colorful. They're wearing glitter.
Or twists real quick.
And then
it's dark.
And then Frex like has peppered in these moments where you're you're like, whoa, you know, and I think like it's hard sometimes because I think oddly enough our audience we always can feel the conservative nights. We can always feel like the nights when people with money are there just to like have fun at the Kit Kat Club, right, and they're like, they kind of look at you like this, and they're like
maybe they weren't
like, you
sure.
Came to my house.
Didn't know what was going on.
I don't. You came to my house. I don't know what's going on, but like,
because like you said, this especially with this particular. So I saw it on the West End. I haven't seen it on Broadway yet because I just need to. Yeah, it's just that I got the coins in the jar. We will see it. It'll happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. But I saw it on the West End, and because the audience because the theater's rearranged. I mean, it's literally a club. Yeah. Which I think we should do more of. I mean, you're in it so much more.
Exactly. The minute you walk in the door, you're there. I mean, you're having an experience.
You're right there. Yes. Yeah. They really have like a director or whatever, whoever made the calls to like make you have to go through. Yeah, this that is Tom Scott.
He is literally a genius.
It's amazing.
He hates that word, but he is.
But like, yeah, it is. The audience is very much a part of this show. Yeah. So I imagine like, so on these conservative nights, are you guys like going harder, or are you guys kind of pulling back to try to like, does the audience ever like affect how you perform your scenes and things like that?
I will say like all of the Kit Kats from top to bottom, like none of us are ever pulling back. Like we're not those types of people. I do think it's like this sense of when people are on the journey with us, when they get it, when they get what we're trying to do, it feels really special, and it feels there's a sense of ease to the story because you feel like they're with you and they're not going to do anything inappropriate. You can tell that you're getting to them.
Yeah.
And on the more conservative nights, it does kind of become like a fuck you.
Yeah.
Like there are moments where I am like
making eye contact. I am literally just like being like,
oh yeah, I'm a big ass bitch floating my tits in your face. Like deal with it. Yeah, like it is. There's never a moment where we're like they don't deserve it, which I think is really special about our group. Is like we're never like you don't deserve this. We're like no, you're gonna see this. Like, and that is really cool. But it is hard. There are nights where I'm like, oh, if one more person looks at me like I'm crazy, like it's so frustrating. Yeah. But again, like they need to see it. Like it's really for them. Like the people that get it, get it. The people that don't get it, need it.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly. Now, okay, we've gone through 2 MCs so far on Broadway. Do you feel a shift in the show when the MC changes, and why is it better with Adam Lambert?
Oh, I don't.
This is just
you definitely feel a shift.
Yeah,
you definitely feel a shift because like the MC is the puppet master.
Yeah,
like that character does really take you through. He takes us through, and I think it's definitely a shift. I will not say anything is better or worse. Everything is art.
I know.
But I think it's two very different things. Like Adam, I think is so great with
he's just such a dramatic performer, and
yes, but
and Eddie Redmayne coming from like more of like film is just I can imagine it's just
different.
It's 2 different. It's apples and oranges.
But like, and it's not even. It's just like Eddie gave you this sense of like I want to talk to this guy, but I think this guy's going to get me in trouble. Which was really cool. Which made you continue to lean forward into him, but you knew you're getting yourself into trouble. Adam is like, oh my God, look how great this place is. Come in, this place is amazing. It's welcoming, just very much this welcoming host of like bacchanalia. So then when the stuff gets ripped apart, you're like, wait, no, I felt so happy and safe with you, you know, like, which is also a really cool take.
So interesting.
It's really interesting. And again, I don't think anyone is better than the other. Both are really cool
2 different takes
to play with as someone in the Kit Kat Club.
I will say, watching Eddie do his Tony performance, I was like, this is weird as hell. But I was also, you're right, I was kind of leaning in to be like, what exactly is going on with him right now? Like, you're right, it's kind of like, I didn't trust him, but I was interested.
Exactly.
Whereas like you see, like Adam Lambert.
And again, it's so funny that Tony's performance, is such the tip of the iceberg that was Eddie as the MC. Like,
interesting, yeah.
I mean, the character that man built, the relationships he built with all of us was just so special.
That's so good to hear.
And something about it is that both, like Eddie, kindest human, best human. Really? And I was like so scared. I was like, oh no, like this has been such a happy thing. Adam comes in just as nice, just as kind, just as fun, just as silly, like open to playing games and being silly. Like you kind of think, oh my God, this person's won an Oscar. I'm going to need to be like, but like,
and the other guy's the lead
Eddie would like
Kiss.
One day I introduced Eddie to the game.
Queen.
One day I introduced to Eddie the game of like Assassin, where you like wink and then you have to like die. And he was like, oh my God, sounds so fun. Let's play it today. And I was like, okay, you are the assassin. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
And he just killed me the whole show.
And you do it during the show?
Yeah, you like wink and then you kind of have to like.
So fun.
Don't tell anybody. But like,
so he
just killed me the whole show. He didn't kill anybody else.
Wait, I love that.
But it was really fun. We had a great day.
I love that.
So it was just great. Both of them have been so lovely. And
I had a just kind of very generic question about it. But like when you have stars coming in like that, so is it pretty typical to interact? Like on a personal level, or is it, in my mind, sometimes I'm like, I assume they're just in their own wing of the house. And then they show up, they come on,
hot
like,
tub.
But,
Well, this is honestly my first experience with that.
Yeah.
So I do think that both Eddie and Adam have been so integrated with us, like wanting to talk to us, chat with us during the show, hear about our lives, you know, like
type stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Eddie did not hang
fun.
out afterwards as much. Like he wanted to be pretty diligent about just like rest and everything. Adam is more of a hangout, but that's more like rock star culture, you know, I think.
Totally.
but both of them have been so great to where I'm like, I don't want the shoe to drop. You know what I mean? Like, I want sweet people to keep coming in. But we did go out with Orville last week, and he's so
now
sweet.
you have
You
a
just
coach.
walk into their dressing room and they're just eating a fresh baby.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Because you have he's a country star.
Yes.
And that's going to be a whole different vibe.
It is, and you know, at first I was
Altogether.
like, this is gonna be hard. Like, it's changing all the time. Da 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 da. And then I'm like, you know what? Like, work will never feel like a government job of like I'm doing the same exact thing. In 4 months, Orville's going to start in a few months, and that's going to be Orville and Eva. I'm so excited.
Eva's so
and that's
great.
going to be a whole thing. And then 4 months later, somebody else is going to come in, and that's going to be a completely different thing. And so I'm kind of excited for the new journey of having rotating MCs and Sallies, because it will always keep my show fresh and like,
Of course.
you know, and excited and like, okay, so how does Texas relate to this MC? Like, how does Texas like this Sally, or does Texas not like this Sally? And like, it does kind
the
of
new
shift
choices that you get to make.
that I get to make, you
every
know, which
time
is
somebody else
kind
is
of like a
coming in.
gift, you know?
Yeah, that's totally fun. So I want to ask too, I know, so you went through a couple auditions for this. When you're auditioning for a show, what is your audition song, or do you audition with a song? I know you eventually sang songs from the show, but like, what is your what's your go-to audition song?
You know what? For a while, like when I first started, I sang Poison Ivy for everything.
Poison Ivy?
Like Poison Ivy.
Oh, fun.
Poison Ivy.
Can you do the full thing right now just for us?
I might have to get a check if that's the case.
Just don't cash it. Whatever. I'll give you 2 checks.
We'll write you one.
But no, so that was mine for a while, because it was like I could sing that if I
Eyes
was on
closed,
death's door, I could
asleep.
sing it. Yeah. And then I've sang I Want to Dance with Somebody for a really long time.
my
I do like a
gosh.
funny comedic version of it. Because honestly, the funny thing is I rarely, for Cabaret was the first time that I was asked to sing a musical theater song.
Really?
Yes. Like a beautiful thing is that like the like sector or version, like column of musical theater that has made the most space for my body type is pop musicals, like jukebox musicals. So I've done a lot of those. So I usually sing pop songs.
Yeah.
But Cabaret wanted a musical theater song, so I sang Cornet Man from Funny Girl, which was really fun. I was like, oh, I should sing this more often at things. But I've always been like, I've almost only been in like contemporary poppy musicals, but all I want is to be in
That's
like
what I was
vibrato,
Really?
you know, Guys and Dolls,
So you
on the
prefer
town.
kind of the older musicals?
Yes, that is what my voice was meant to sing.
I watched a couple of your videos, and it is like, it's crazy. Like, I mean, obviously everyone on Broadway is amazing at this, but like watching you, like you were so good at, this is not the right way to say it, but like the acting, singing, like you were fully you were giving a story while you were singing. And I just like, you know, sometimes you watch people sing and they just kind of sing, but like you were so good at like emoting. So you really could, like, I mean, you could pull off fucking anything, man.
Thanks. I would love. Love.
Yeah, because you just have so much character when you sing. It was like fun to watch all your like. I think you have like on your YouTube, you've got like some like your like agent audition.
Oh yeah,
showcase.
I gotta clean that out or something. Yeah,
And you're
it's
like,
old. Yeah,
you're singing like a whistle song or two, so something like that. But anyway, it's very fun. Like, so I can see you playing old, but you have been in a ton of contemporary. But that's so interesting because you seem very contemporary, but you want to do the older ones.
Yeah, I would love I would love nothing more than to be Adelaide in Guys and Dolls, or to be, you know, Hildy and On the Town. Like that's what I want. I would love, you know, Ado Annie in Oklahoma. Like that's just
Annie
the type of voice that I have. Like that's, I mean, like again, I can sing pop stuff. I love it, but that's like where my heart. You know.
You were a theater kid growing, like were you were into musical theater growing up?
Yeah.
And did it come first? Because I know you were also a dance teacher. And Kristen Chenoweth's assistant choreographer, which is fascinating, and I want to get into that. But so, what did you dance first, or were you kind of start taking like musical theater first?
So I have an older sister who's 5 years older than me. So when I was little, I of course had to do everything that she did. Like she was the coolest person ever. So she danced, so I had to dance.
As an older sister, I know about.
Yeah,
I know about being the coolest one.
So she danced, so I danced, and whereas like Annie is now a law professor. She's brilliant, the most amazing woman. She was like just in general like a really good dancer.
Yeah.
Like she was 10 times the dancer I was. I was like the performer. I wanted to be the center of attention, and I happened to be able to dance as well. Like that just felt right. And then there used to be, I don't know if it's still a thing, but there used to be this thing called Missoula Children's Theater. And essentially they would come in on a Monday, audition kids, and at the end of the week, by Friday, you were doing a musical. Like you were performing a musical.
Yeah.
So I started that when I was like, I think 6 or 7. And I remember like I've told this story a million times. I was a bumblebee in Sleeping Beauty, you know, the titular role of Sleeping Beauty.
We all were a bee or a tree at some point.
We all were a bee. And the bees had one cross where they would run across the stage, and that was it. And I got to be the late bee, so all the bees did their cross, and then I ran on. I twirled in the center of the stage, and then I ran off.
You had
and
your
the
moment.
whole audience laughed, and I was like, "This is amazing!
This is it."
It's like that. It's what's that reel on TikTok? That's like fantastic. Give me 14 of them right now. Like I was like, "This is what I want to do. I want to do it every day." Like that. It just felt so good to make people happy and make people laugh, and it was everything I ever wanted. So I continued to dance like far into my teens, but any chance I got to be on stage in a musical to sing, I would jump on the opportunity.
How did you become Kristen Chenoweth's? Because did you taught at Broadway Dance Academy or Broadway Dance School, the one on in Midtown?
So that all kind of happened after-ish. So I teach for a company called Broadway Dreams.
Okay.
And through Broadway Dreams, I reconnected with an old teacher of mine, Tyler Haynes, who is now one of my best friends, my dance dad, my like everything. We joke that I'm the Gwen to his Bob. We got to reconnect teaching for Broadway Dreams, which travels around the country. And we work together. We work a lot. We collab a lot. And he was asked to be her choreographer for her last residency on Broadway and brought me on as the assistant.
And you got to be in that show too, right?
Yes, I did.
How was that?
It was crazy. It was genuinely like we were in rehearsals doing everything. It was Kristen, and she had 2 backup singers who would do some things with her, some movement. And she came in one day and she was like, "Y'all, I had a dream last night, and this is how I want to do this number." And she dreams up this whole number, and we're like, "Great, we can make that happen."
She's Gypsy Rose.
Literally, like she's like, "I had it. Let's go." And so we're like, okay. So Tyler and I choreographed this whole number. We show it to Kristen. She loves it. And then I'm like, okay, so who should we reach out to dance it? Like, who do we think Kristen wants? Like, Kristen, who do you want? And she's like, "Oh, no, you're doing it." And I was like, what? Like, she's like, "No, it'll be you." And like, I was like, "Kristen," she's like, "No, it's you." And I was like, okay, like this number will get cut. They're not just going to have Joe Schmo dance in this number. At the time, I felt more Joe Schmo. I still feel like Joe Schmo, honestly. But literally, like, so it just happened. Like, I was just in the show, and I was just not in the program, just showed up every night as a dancing usher, which was really fun.
As a dancing usher?
Yeah, that's how it was. Like, I would help her downstage to go and like sit on someone's lap in the audience. And then the whole point was like Tyler was with her and then flirted with everyone else around her.
Yeah.
And then found me as the usher and like brings me up on stage to flirt with me. And then I surprise everyone and I can dance.
Right.
And I like put him in his place. So it was just really special. And it was at the Nederlander, and I still have my like Nederlander usher name tag like in my house. I love it.
Kristen Chenoweth seems like such a just like spitfire, ball of energy. Like she just like, it doesn't, when you're like, it doesn't surprise me that she came in and was like, "I had a dream and this is what we're doing." Because she just feels like cuckoo in the best way.
She
like,
is.
Absolutely
she is like the most alive. Like she's just the most alive, joyful person. Like, again, she's one of those people that the person you see on Instagram and on your TV and in the things you love, like that's who she is.
That's who she is.
And like, I'll never forget the first day of that rehearsal. I was standing by Tyler, and like, there wasn't a world in which she was going to walk into that room and not know who I was. Like I've done other things where like you kind of stand in the back and you just like let people do their thing and like they'll meet you if they want to meet you, like whatever. But no, she came directly up to me. She's like, "And who are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm Mimi. I'm your assistant choreographer. I'm so excited." She goes, "Oh my God." And just like wanted to get to know me, asked me about my life. Like she's just the best, like she really, I feel so lucky to have met so many amazing people, but she is like at the top of the list.
I love that.
Yeah.
You like you said, think about like Eddie and think about Adam and think about Kristen. It's like these are big people, and you just it's like you just like to hear.
And
that
all
they
of them
are,
inspire you to be like, this is the type. If I ever am blessed enough
to get
be like
famous,
big famous, and to have these opportunities, those are the people I want to emulate.
Yeah.
And like it's hard. It's hard because like sometimes you're not treated the best, and sometimes it's so stressful and such a pressure cooker. And then you look to these people and like you have been under even more stress than I am. Like, okay, like breathe. So they're amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to talk about the show that I love. We Are the Tigers. Okay, this was campy. This was modern. This was like a murder musical, cheerleaders. Like there was so many elements of this that are just like, yes. Tell me, like, so were you part of this from the beginning? Where did you come on board? Because this was like just such a fun thing that I was reading about it everywhere. And finally I was like, I'm buying a ticket. I went to go see it by myself. And I was just like, that was one of the most fun things I've ever seen. It
was the best experience.
Yeah.
The best show, the best cast. Like, that is the show that I would go back to.
Really?
If someone said we're doing it,
what would
I'd be
you go
like,
back to in 2
buying out
seconds?
my contract, I'm going back.
I'm going back to
I would drop it all. It was just the best. It was like, so I believe I just started when it went off Broadway.
Yeah.
So I believe it started in LA, and then they had done concerts here and there in the city, and then they finally got the chance to go off Broadway. Yeah. And we were in at Theater 80 on St. Mark's Place, which is probably the size of this podcast studio.
Yep.
But it was just
a little one.
It was amazing. It was like it just was fun. It was women. It was silly. It was stupid. It was campy. It was just like, it was the first time in New York that I got to play a principal role and like feel that, and like, like it was just amazing. It was just like, and Preston, his songs are so good, and it was great. It really was.
Where is it now? Is it still kind of like doing stuff like that?
It's in the ether. I think it's up in the air. I don't know.
It just shows like that. Like you think of a show like that and you're like, could this go to, what would it do on Broadway? Would people freak out? Would people understand, or is this a show that kind of has to live in these like little off Broadway places for it to keep its kind of campy magic,
Yeah. Honest to goodness, like if it went to Broadway, I would love to do it on Broadway. I think that'd be really special. But I think that show needs the little shop treatment.
It needs a little dinginess.
Where it needs to be in Midtown, definitely.
Yeah.
It deserves to be in Midtown.
Yeah.
But it needs to be like almost like experiential. Like you are in the high school. You know what I mean? Like you can feel where you are, and it needs to be small and fun, and it needs to keep that culty kind of vibe, because I think it is really special. And it was such a cool show because it meant so much to people. It was the first time that I was involved in something that like really spoke to people in that way, and I still since haven't been involved in something that has like resonated so deeply with people, which is crazy, like Cabaret has, but like that was the first time I had fans and fan art, and like it was crazy. Like,
I know.
And it was just this little show that my agent was like, do you want to go in for this? And I was like, this sounds cuckoo, but I need a job.
Yeah,
and
when you read it, were you
completely changing my life? Yeah.
Were you like, what the hell is this?
Exactly, yeah. I had no idea. It was just, I had no idea what was coming, and it really did change my life.
So we did that. We've done off-Broadway, we've done Broadway, and then we have dabbled. We talked a little bit about, because you've also done workshops for some pretty big shows. Like you did the workshop of, or not a workshop, out of towns for Heart of Rock and Roll and Once Upon a One More Time.
Yeah.
So like you were saying, the two jukebox musicals. So can you tell us a little bit about like what happens between out of town and Broadway with like the changing cast, and like did you want to go with either of those shows to Broadway and it just was like not timing, or like what kind of happens between out of towns and Broadway with those two ones like, specifically for you?
Well, Heart of Rock and Roll was really special. I mean, like the family that does that show, and I say family in like the truest sense, because that is a family. Like, is some of the kindest, most beautiful humans I've ever worked with. And I started with the show in their out of town in San Diego, came back to New York, did a workshop, while I was doing We Are the Tigers, I did double duty. I workshopped Heart of Rock and Roll during the day, did Tigers at night.
New York. Look at this.
Yes,
She's
very
busy.
much. Yes. And then kind of a year later, did another workshop for Heart of Rock and Roll. And then last summer, not this past summer, the summer before that, we did like the final workshop. Like this was going to be the workshop before we went to Broadway. It was going to happen. We were going to find out if we got a theater that week. Right? And I think they did find out about a theater that week. And at the time, I had not even auditioned for Cabaret yet. Like my audition for we did the presentation on Friday.
Yeah.
My audition for Cabaret was on Monday.
Okay.
So that happens, goes well. I auditioned for Cabaret, and Cabaret was this magical experience where like we auditioned all week that week, and I knew I had the job by Monday.
Amazing.
So my Cabaret offer, I get the call for Cabaret on Monday. I get the call for Heart of Rock and Roll on Tuesday.
Oh, no.
And so it was just this moment that was so hard. And you just have to kind of look at the two things. You have to look at what you've done.
Yeah.
You have to look at what you want, where you want to go, the opportunities, and you just have to make the decision.
What a fortunate position to be in.
Exactly.
Like,
and
that's
I
amazing.
always said, God, I wish that like y'all were just waiting 6 more months so I could be like, listen, I'll do Cabaret for 6 months and then I can pop up. You always wish that you could like be a fairy godmother and like make it work. But it just happened that way. And I adored being in Heart of Rock and Roll. That show is so fun and happy and silly and just made people happy. My family loved Heart of Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
And it was really a special moment. And that was a hard one. That was a real moment of like, what am I going to do?
If you went back, would you make the same choice? Would you still have chose Cabaret?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just mostly for my wallet. You know what I mean? Like, I think that sometimes you have to look at that too, which is sad.
do.
But I do,
I know.
again, especially after, everything that's happened and having to plan a wedding in a month and everything, like having a solid paycheck has been very
Definitely
nice.
want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about Once Upon a One More Time? So you were attached to
Once Upon
that
a One
as
More Time.
well.
Yeah,
Which, of course, is the Britney Spears musical set to feminist princesses.
Yes.
In case anybody was wondering, with Justin Guarini, our friend's cousin, who was at one of our best friends' wedding.
Another
Good to see Justin
lovely,
Guarini just be a
lovely,
dad.
lovely man.
He what?
He was just being a dad. His 2 kids run around. He's like, hey, knock it off. I was like, that's Justin Guarini.
He's actually really fun in the
He's
show.
Another
really cool, yeah.
he's
He's
very
really
funny.
fantastic. Once Upon a More Time was crazy because I literally
bet.
was I have a lot of crazy stories. So literally, I had been wanting to go in for Once Upon a One More Time for a while to be in the ensemble and cover because my first show I did in the city was off Broadway. I did a show called Gigantic, and it was me, and I was in it with Ryan Redmayne and Bonnie Milligan. And Ryan Redmayne and Bonnie Milligan had kind of like passed off the role of Belinda for years. Like if Bonnie wasn't available, they called Ryan. If Ryan wasn't available, they called Bonnie. Like
Right.
they kind of just went back and forth.
Yeah.
And I was like, we would joke that I was like, I need to be in the ensemble of this show and just cover that part. But they would never see me. Like they would never call me in. It was never
Wild.
something that happened. And sometimes you're like, okay, not meant to be, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I get a text from my agent like, Brittany wants to see you and they want to see you today. And I was
Like
like,
Spears?
who's Brittany? What? Like, what's going on? She was like, the Brittany musical. They need
the
a last minute
Britney. Okay,
replacement.
okay.
The girl playing Belinda has pulled out and they need a last minute replacement. You're going in today at 2:00. And I was like, at the time, I had been cast in Tick Tick Boom as a dancer. And I had a
Okay.
fitting in Brooklyn. And I was like, Irene, I have a fitting in Brooklyn at 12. Like, there's no transportation.
I already feel like sweaty and stressed.
I was like,
for you.
no
Like,
transportation will get me to Midtown by 2. Like,
No.
it's just not gonna happen. She's
No.
like, okay, hold on. They're like, okay, they'll see you at 5. And I'm like, great. So I go all the way to Brooklyn. I do this fitting. I go back home. While I'm in the car, I'm committing to a car today. Like I need to be.
It's a car day.
I need to be with myself.
It's just a car day.
It's car day. So I'm learning my lines. I'm like trying to figure out. I only had to do scenes. I was like, let me just bring my book in case they want me to sing. Like, I don't know what's happening. I get back home. I like pick out my outfit. I call Tyler Haynes and I'm like, go through these scenes with me. Like, I feel like I'm being a version of myself instead of being myself. And he's like, okay, let's do it. And I do it. And he's like, you are definitely being a version of yourself and not yourself. He goes, MiMi, this is you. She goes, this is a happy-go-lucky girl who messes up, but is funny and is a little dumb. And I was like, exactly. So we go through the scenes. I'm myself. I get dressed. I'm on my way. I'm like, Lord knows what I'm gonna have to pull out in this audition.
Yeah.
Like you said yourself, I'm not someone that just stands and sings. I'm not someone that just stands and reads. Like I have to activate my entire body.
You are fully in it.
Because it honestly helps me get myself out of my head. So on my way there, I'm like, a block away, I'm like stretching in case I have to do a split or something comes to me that I don't want to hurt myself.
Just in case there's
and
a splits involved.
My pants.
Yeah.
Just thigh open. I'm like, okay. So I go in. It is me. Literally me. This is me. And I go in. It's me and 2 other girls.
Okay.
And then we're the only 3 people going in. 2 of us are big. 2 of us are bigger, and one is like very short, older, and skinny. So first person goes in, goes out, leaves. Second person goes in, comes out, leaves. And so I go in. They compliment my outfit. I make a joke. Everyone laughs. I'm like, okay, they like me.
Yeah.
They're on my side.
Yeah.
I do the scene work, and they're like, okay, MiMi, can you go outside? I get outside and I'm pacing back and forth because I just gave one of the best auditions I've ever given.
Oh,
like
hell
to
yeah.
this day, that is up there. And I'm like, oh my God. And this sweet old lady goes, oh baby, did it not go well? It's okay. And I go, no, I'm really nervous because it went really well. And I just don't know how to feel. I got a lot of energy right now. And she's like, oh, great. She's like, she was like, just keep pacing. I'm like, okay. So like, MiMi, can you come back in? And I'm like, yeah. Thinking like, oh, maybe they want to hear me sing. Maybe they want to give me an adjustment. Maybe I was too much. And then they're like, and David Laveau was like, yeah, so I think we all agree, that was amazing. And will you join us on Monday? And I'm like, yeah. Like I cried. Like it felt like American Idol. Like I feel like I got a ticket to Hollywood. Like it was so wild. I'd never in my life gotten a job in the room before. And then I walk out, I call my agent and I was like, I got it. Like I booked it. And I was like, what did I book? Like what starts on Monday? And she's like, you're doing the out of town. And I was like, wait, I thought this was a workshop. Like I'm doing the show. And she's like, you're doing the show.
Holy shit.
So I got the job. Of course, then the pandemic, we start rehearsals, the pandemic happens, we go away, we come back, and then we did DC. And it was really special. Again, another amazing cast. Amazing people. The writer of that show is so brilliant. One of the most talented writers.
Somebody that you were in We Are the Tigers with. Right? It had the one
Wanu,
girl.
yes.
Or no, I thought it was also, it had the girl.
Wanu and Lauren, yes.
I was going to say, the girl that was in Legally Blonde, the audition. Yes.
So the 3 of us were all in that together by chance.
Yeah.
And it was really, really fun and really, really special. And, I think that, I think when they moved to Broadway, I think, again, like, Ryan and Bonnie had passed that role back forever. I had come in to, support them when they were both away. And I think, they had loyalty to Ryan and she did a great job. And so it's just, that's again, both stories of why I didn't do either of those shows are just realities of this business. So,
but it all kind of like
the saddest part was that I was in A Beautiful Noise, which was the same season and we had the same schedule. So I never got to see it, which was sad. But
okay, so you were in A Beautiful Noise and Hard to Rock and Roll. Okay, obviously we got Neil Diamond, we got Huey Lewis, Fist Fight. Who's taking it?
Fist Fight. I think honestly Huey might take it. Huey's a little grungy, which I love it
that way. But then I was looking,
he's got some dirt on him.
They were both born in New York, but Huey Lewis moved to Marin County, and Neil Diamond did grow up in New York, and so for that reason alone,
so maybe
because I know I'm from California and I know Marin,
and
I live in New York, and I think Neil Diamond maybe he might have a little scrappy edge on Huey.
Maybe. Well,
Huey's got that rasp and that square chin.
Yes.
I think he'll be all right.
He does.
I love them both.
I love to meet both of them.
Yes, I got to spend very limited time with Neil. Neil came and visited before we went to Boston, and then he was with us for opening night. And so we got to spend and talk here and there. And he's so kind. His wife, Katie Diamond, is like such a sweet woman. Like still talk to her to this day on Instagram. Yes, love her to death. Whereas Huey, like in San Diego, Huey was in rehearsal almost every single day.
Wow.
Like came in you could tell he had gotten a face sheet and he was like, hi Mimi, hi Robert, hi, like he had studied. And like
Wow.
even in workshops, he was there almost every day.
Wow.
And he was like, I will never forget. They were rehearsing at the exact same time as Cabaret, Heart of Rock and Roll was. He came down to say hi to BB Newirth because they're friends. And he was like, Mimi, what the hell? Why aren't you upstairs in my musical? What's going on down here? And I was like, sorry, Huey. Like, but he was so kind
really
and he's
fun.
so funny and he's great.
Now, is there another person? So, 'cause like you said, couple jukebox musicals. Is there somebody that you think deserves or would make a great jukebox music? Jukebox. I can't talk today. Jukebox musical.
And Rascal Flatts is an acceptable answer.
Not anymore. They were at the inauguration.
Were they?
Yes.
Dang.
I mean, I'm not shocked.
Art and artist, you know?
Art and artists. I know. I know.
Okay, I think
Rascal
that
Flatts. God bless the broken road.
I think that I do think that the artist Leifei would make, yeah, she's like an upcoming like young jazz artist. I think she'd make an amazing musical.
Love that.
Her storytelling is really cool. And then I can't think of the name of the album, but Fun, which was Jack Antonoff's like original band, has an album that is literally
Their
a
first
musical.
one?
It's their first or second.
No, they are.
But it's like
because Nate Roos is the other one, right? Nate Roos is the other
think
fun
so,
guy.
yeah.
No, they fully
like that album is a musical, and someone needs to do
Yes,
it.
they
Like,
write
and
a
call
musical.
me, please. But like it really is
I've
such a beautiful.
said this
and I
about-
think Jack Antonoff could write a musical, and it would be stunning. Like
He's brilliant.
yeah.
But when their first album came out, I was like, this is just fun. And you like listen to their songs, and even Nate Roos had that duet with "Just Give Me," like everything
it's
he
that
writes
album, yeah.
is very, very musically inclined. Like it's dramatic, but it's also it's actually fun.
Exactly.
I agree with you there. I
It
think
really
that
could be a really cool thing.
full party.
Yeah.
A full party. Okay.
I think we do another Green Day one, but this time they do Dookie. I think we just do the
full
first, just Dookie.
Just
yeah.
only Dookie. Okay, wait. So you briefly mentioned that you planned your wedding in 1 month. Now, Mike's getting married soon. I'm also married, so like we're both kind of familiar with the planning process. And 1 month is for sure not enough time. Okay, walk us through what's going on with this wedding. Because you like, just got married.
I just got married on New Year's Eve. Yes. So
Congratulations.
essentially, my wife proposed on my birthday, which was like 2 days before we opened Cabaret. It was so special outside in front of the marquee. And it was beautiful. And so I was always like, I am not going to plan a wedding while I'm in Cabaret. Like, especially when we first started, Cabaret was like, Cabaret is not an easy show to dance, to be in, to anything. So I was like, let me just do this. We can get married in 2026. Like, that was always what I said.
Yeah.
I wanted time to save money. I didn't want anyone to feel like they had to like do crazy things.
Yeah.
Right? Cut to Skylar had a family member who got a concerning like medical diagnosis. So 2026 became 2025 very quickly because I was like, I do not want to risk this person not being there.
Yeah.
So that got moved up. So then we kind of started doing more, looking at venues, more things like, okay, well, the winning. Cut to the election happens. And, you know, Skylar has friends who work in Washington, and we're like, you want to get married now? Like, you should probably get married now. And
Right.
we started talking it, and you know, I have always wanted big dress, big party, everyone there. Like, as someone who for a big majority of my life, I did not think I would get married, like just because I didn't think I would find someone who wanted to spend the rest of their life with me. I wanted a party. I wanted it to be a moment.
I understand.
And but slowly had to come to the realization that like, for the sake of us being married and having those rights, we probably needed to do it now before.
Who knows what's going to happen?
You know what I mean? Like,
I understand.
Everyone was like, it is better to do it now than to do it after. Because you can get like, I guess, I don't know, grandfathered in or whatever that means.
Yeah.
So we talked about like going to the courthouse, and like, then we find out that only 4 people can be at the courthouse with you. And I was like, listen, I can't sign a paper without my sister there.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot do that. Like, that's not going to happen. And then if my sister's there, my nephew will actually throw a fit if he's not there. Like, nobody loves a wedding more than my nephew. So then we just kind of started throwing around like, okay, what if like Annie became an officiant, and we just like got married at our apartment. Like we just did this beautiful small wedding at our apartment, and that's what we did. And in 30 days, like essentially a month,
So you just had
we had our wedding,
big
or
ol'
we got
house
married
party.
at our apartment, covered in baby's breath.
And I bet it was
just our
perfect.
families and close friends.
Yeah.
And it really was like, I always thought I would be like, oh, okay, I did that because I had to. But genuinely, I sat across from my wife, Skylar, and I was like, this is what it was meant to be.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
This is our love. This is our story. This is who we are. We rally for the people we love. We rally for love. Like, this is it. And every single person that was at our wedding had something to do with it, or had helped us get there, or like it was genuinely, we looked out and it was the people that loved us the most.
It was
and like
super meaningful.
you know, minus some family members who I really wish could have been there, but it just was impossible. But it was really special. But
I love that.
did it in a month.
It kind of always ends up how it's supposed to be. Like, 'cause I was going to see if there was anything about your wedding that you were like stressed before, that, you know, when you got there.
Definitely
you
was. Definitely was.
realized?
My mom fell off of a ladder the day before.
Oh, as
and
moms
she was in a
do.
6-hour
As
surgery
moms do.
at Mount Sinai and missed the wedding. So
shit.
that was not fun.
Oh no, Mom.
Yeah,
Is she okay
but
now?
she's okay now. She's back. She lived with us for 2 weeks after the wedding, so I got a lot of mom time.
So you got a honeymoon with Mom.
I got a honeymoon with Mom, and but it was nice. When's the last time you got to just like drink coffee with your mom every morning? Like it was lovely. I loved it.
Now, did you guys go on a honeymoon yet?
We haven't yet. We're going in March.
Where are you guys going?
We're going to Cancun. We're just doing an all-inclusive. I want to
That's what we
sit
did.
and someone hand me a margarita.
That's
Like,
what we
I
did.
want. Yeah.
That's the argument I'm having right now. It's just
Yeah.
like, what if we went to Asia or Japan? I was like, I want to put my feet in the sand, and I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to put my hand up, and then a drink shows up. That's what I want.
I literally did the smallest of small weddings, and
Yeah.
I need that
Yeah,
right
yes.
now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So just let your person know that like you do not want to do exploring.
Well, we're
It's
doing
the
like a
best
big, we're
immediate
renting a
thing.
campground now,
Yeah.
so it's like tons and tons. It's like a full weekend. I'm like, I just want to go, literally do nothing. I don't want to. I just ears on, I stare at the ocean, drink till the drink's over. I want to like monkey fuck drinks. You know, like you do cigarettes back to back, light the cigarette. I want to do that with drinks.
And that is an all-inclusive.
straw.
Just straw to
Get there
straw.
now.
Straw to straw. Yeah. Okay. Well, you deserve it. It'll be a nice little break for you to go. I'm excited for you. Okay. So I have a game that I want to play. Before I play this game with you, I do want to ask you, what is your most used app on your phone?
Instagram.
Yes. Okay. So I along with apps on our phone, I want to play a little game with you. It's basically like Tinder for shows.
Okay.
But we're calling it Tinder. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much. Trademark. Don't take it. So I'm going to list a couple shows, and you just swipe right on them if you like them, and left if you don't. All right.
Okay,
We've got
okay.
Some classics
And
here.
don't hold back.
Okay.
Don't hold back.
Okay, great.
All right. We swiping right or we swiping left on the classic musical Cats?
I'm swiping right.
You like it?
I love it. It was my first
okay.
musical. It means the world to me. I had the filmed stage version. I watched it every sick day.
Did you really?
Yes.
You know what I used to watch when I was sick? I used to watch Chorus Line. I rented Chorus Line all the time, which as like a third grader, probably a little grown up.
Probably a little bit I was watching Dirty Dancing at 5, so I get it.
You're like, what's an abortion?
Didn't know until I was 16. Literally did not realize
know.
that. I just thought she was sick.
She was very sick.
It's like, she's so sick. How's she so sick?
All right, we swiping right, we swiping left, and these shows I got based on. So I just posted this thing in Reddit, and I was asking people, what is a show that you hated that everyone loved?
Okay,
And
okay.
These were some of the common themes.
Okay,
Swipe right, swipe left. Rent.
Swipe right.
Swipe right. Yes. See,
gotta.
I'm left on Cats, but I'm rent on. I'm right on
I
Rent.
love it.
Every single time. Moulin Rouge.
Ooh.
It's a tough one.
I think I'll swipe right
Okay.
because I have thought about going back to see it again.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if I don't like a show, I'm like, I saw it, saw, gotta go.
Yes.
But I have thought about going back.
Yeah.
And like I would watch it again. And it is beautiful. The choreography is amazing.
There's a hubbub
like, there's
about
beautiful.
it. There
Yeah,
is
there's good things.
some beautiful parts. I've seen it 2.5 times because I went twice, and then I brought a friend a third time, and at intermission she's like, I just want to go drink, and I was like, listen, everybody's got a thing. Let's go do that. She was like, I just can't do this anymore.
power to
And
you.
I was like, we'll go, girl. Wicked.
Oh, right.
It's always right.
It's
I
right.
know. It's right.
right.
Book of Mormon.
Right.
I love Book of Mormon.
I thought it was great. That is
right.
famously the only show I've ever won the lottery for.
Really?
Yes, this is like back when they did in-person lotteries.
Oh my God.
I
used to show up to that
never
all the
win
time.
lotteries still to this
Yes.
day, and that is the only one I won.
I'm actually pretty good at lottery. I actually have won. I won Hamilton 3 times.
Whoa!
I know. I've less likely now. Like sometimes they're a little bit harder. Of course, like cabarets, like I've entered so many times. But I've actually been pretty good at lotteries. Okay, is there a show that fits into that category for you that you kind of did not like that is most people generally liked, but you were like, you know what, it's not for me?
Ooh.
Because for me, it was I just saw Stereophonic and I know I was supposed to love it, and I just didn't.
You know, I am a weird person to ask this to because I think when I was in college, like college kind of makes you such a snob about musicals. And then you move here and you start to participate in the art form and you're like, I have like, that's somebody else's job to be a snob. So now I kind of go to things and I'm like,
a pretty
what's
easy
great?
critic too, yeah.
I will say a show that I saw that I was like, I'm happy I saw this, but like,
Yeah.
was Falsettos.
The one with like Christian Borle and Andrew Reynolds. Dude, that one was like
They were fantastic. The like
I remember that was so hard to get tickets
I
to,
was
and one of them was almost always out. One of the main casts.
and I magically saw them all. I saw everybody on, and a friend brought me, and I the show was beautiful, beautiful performances. Stephanie J. Block is a revelation.
I'm breaking down. I think I've
Like
watched
she
that
was
video.
so great,
Yes.
but I judge it as like, would I go see that musical again? And I
you
wouldn't. Yeah, I was like, I've seen it. I saw Sam at
People
Concord.
love falsettos.
It's not something I would go to see again.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
I like that because you know what? It's bold.
Yeah.
It's brave.
Yeah, but like I said, the show was beautiful. I
Yes.
just wouldn't go see Falsettos again.
I understand.
You know?
I understand. MiMi Scardulla, thank you so much for being here. Is there anything we can support you, tell people where to follow you, besides going and seeing her at the Kit Kat Club, of course? And I hope that I get to see you there soon.
Yes, please come
I
see
need
us.
to go.
Yeah, just follow me at MiMi Scardulla on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only place that I'm active. I don't have a Twitter. I don't have a TikTok. I never had a TikTok.
Good.
Yeah, follow along. My life is, it's funny, it's chaotic, it's silly, it's stupid, it's a little gay. It's great.
We love all those things. All
Do
right,
you want
guys.
to play cats?
What?
Did you want to play cats?
Oh, yeah, wait, we have
Sorry.
cats. Thank you so
Surprise.
much. I do have cats. Speaking of, it's so funny. I always say this is my least favorite musical, but I do have the penultimate question of this podcast is which Jellicle cat are you most sexually attracted to?
Ooh,
I always forget about my sound cue. Meow, mommy. Who you like? Who would you date?
Obviously, Rum Tum Tugger, hot.
Everybody likes
Hot
that
as
Everyone
hell.
loves the Tugger.
But
Tell me.
also, this is the two sides of my bisexuality:
see.
is
Let me
Rum Tum Tugger and Bumballerina.
Oh, Bumballerina. That means you're a silly little slut.
I am exactly. I said that a while back.
Yeah, you're
full
silly
circle.
little slut.
I'm
And
just a silly little slut.
Rum Tum Tugger is a basic and total fuckboy. He's gonna break your heart.
He's gonna break my heart. There you go.
Bumballerina is a silly little slut.
There
Well,
you
there we
go.
go. Okay, thank you, Mike, for that cue.
course.
And the rest of you, we'll see you next time, next week. We don't know when we're gonna see you next, but we'll see you again. And it's Broadway Bitch. We'll see you. Bye.
Bye.